Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to The Practical Woodsman. I'm Rut, the creator and host of The Practical Woodsman. That's right. It's my genius which has brought this all into existence. It's a nice, rainy, gray, dreary, soppy, nasty day outside. I was sitting here playing around with some of my gear and everything. I'm planning a trip into the woods with my dogs. Finally, last time I tried that, I got sick. But I got to thinking, I want something to drink, but I'm sick of coffee, and I'm not really in the mood for tea. What could I possibly drink? And then I remembered my acorns from 4 months ago. So I thought I'd bring you along with me while I prepared some acorn coffee, show you that I've still got them, that I'm still enjoying them. Here they are. I've been keeping them in this airtight container here, and I haven't checked on them for a while, but I'm guessing that they're as good as they ever have been. Next fall, next autumn, I really do intend to collect a whole lot more acorns than I collected this past year, because I enjoy this acorn coffee so much, and I've just been kind of carefully proportioning out myself an allowance every few weeks for me to have some of this acorn coffee, because I enjoy it that much. And so if I had collected a lot more acorns back at the beginning, I wouldn't have to be so conservative with the acorns that I've got stashed here. Man, I just can't tell you how good that smells. It's almost like coffee and chocolate, and I mean, it smells dadgum good. And if you'll remember, the way I prepared these was I just put them in a pan. Now, a lot of people talk about soaking out the tannins and everything. I didn't do that for this batch. You know, in another video I did do that. But I actually think I like the ones that I did not soak the tannins out of. I just roasted in a pan. I think I like these better for the coffee substitute. Let's get a bite here. Yeah, because it's just got more flavor. I'll tell you, I did not just roast these in a pan. I salted them heavily too in the pan. But these are just roasted acorns with the tannins roasted in them, and that roasting process, or just the frying process on top of the pan, really cuts down that bitterness of the tannins. Just the frying in the pan. So some of you will see the other video that I did where I soaked them and boiled them and did all that. It took forever. This whole process here took probably less than an hour. This is something you could do right around a campfire out in the woods. But boy, I love it. So before we get started, let's do the musical introduction, because it's the law. If I don't do it, ninjas will break into my house tonight and beat me up, and I don't want that to happen. So let's do the musical introduction. I'll be right back. All right, so I got my electric kettle on. That'll be heating up some water back here. You can see it. You can hear it. I got a cup here. I've got my silicone coffee maker here. And I've got coffee filters. The only thing left to do is just to grind up some of these acorns and turn them into kind of a ground coffee consistency. Let me give you a real nice look at the acorns there if you can't see them. They're really, really good. Man, I wish I had more. But what I've been doing is I've been saving my acorns for days exactly like today. Gray and drizzly and kind of cold and those sorts of things. Because then this acorn coffee is just more enjoyable than ever before. You know, you gotta set the conditions. Also, ain't it true that I reckon if you got something every single day, you kind of take it for granted after a while. All right, so here's my grinder, and I've just stuffed them in the top there. They look burnt, and maybe they are, but they're delicious. So I hope everybody had a nice end of the year. I hope everybody's enjoying their winter. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, you know. Got this trip planned. I'm hoping to be able to shoot some video. Well, let me put it this way. I'm hoping to get to spend some really nice time out in the woods with my dogs. And I'm looking at the forecast. It's supposed to be gray and drizzly and even snowy. And I just love that. I think it adds to the whole ambiance of being out in the woods. I like having challenges to work against, like wetness all over the place, and maybe I'll get to show everybody how to start fires easily in those conditions and those sorts of things. You know, challenges in the backcountry are especially nice for trying out different things, seeing where your weaknesses are in your approach to them, and then coming up with solutions to those problems and trying again. That's what I really like. You know, if you go out into the woods and everything's just working fantastic for you, and then you come back, you haven't learned anything. Your experience out there, your kind of insight into that really doesn't grow much. Come on, get in there. Maybe the pieces I stuck in there are too big. Let's get some smaller pieces. Got a bunch of small pieces here. Maybe I'll have to break some of those larger pieces down. The grinder's got to be able to grab a hold of them and do its thing. If you haven't seen the video, here's the thing. Some of these videos I do, I absolutely love. I love the way they turn out and everything, and it seems to be that a lot of the ones that I don't think will do well, do very well, these videos. And then the videos that I think should do really well, because they're really interested and I'm doing lots of stuff and trying different things, get a very small audience. So if you ain't seen this, my whole video about acorns, I think it's called A Full Guide to Eating Acorns. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend you do. Of course, it's all up to you if you want to see it or you don't. But I think it was a wonderful experience for me. I was trying to make acorn flour, and then I was trying to do different things with the acorn flour. I was doing acorn coffee substitute. That was the first time I'd done it the way that I did it in that video. I had worked with acorns in the past with less success than I did this time. So that's, you know, try, fail, try, fail, try, fail, and then you get pretty good and knowledgeable about things. All right, come on now. We've been getting some nice growth over on our community, on locals. So if you'd like to join us, and there's some less formal things that we do over there and talk about and share. But we do got our membership over there is growing, and now would be a great time to join us. The way you do that is you go to thepracticalwoodsman.locals.com in your web browser, or you can download the locals.com app from the App Store, and then within the app you just search for The Practical Woodsman, and you'll get to see everything that we've got there in the bank currently. I do live streams there. I try to do live streams there on Saturday. I've been on vacation for the past couple weeks, so live streams, I missed a few. But we're getting back into a regular schedule here now, and so everything's going to be good. Let's take a looky-see here. All right, I think we've got enough here for what we're doing. Pretty dark. Let's see. I got a light. You see that? We're just going to dump that into a filter just like we'd do with coffee, and then we're just going to do a pour over, hot water over the Acorn coffee there. Oop. Let's do it like this. Oh yeah, that should be plenty. You see how dark that comes out? Man, it smells good. Holy mackerel. That's such a pleasant smell. All right, let's make our coffee. Wow, it smells really good. I don't know if you can see that vapor coming up off air. Man, it smells delightful. It smells really good. There's something about the acorns. This is something I haven't shared with you before, but there's something about the acorns when I grind them in this grinder. They come out almost like powdered sugar, like that fine of a grind. And then when I do the pour over, it seems like the hot water doesn't pass through that really fine, that really tightly ground acorn powder as quickly as it does through if I were putting coffee in there, actual coffee. And I ain't sure about why that is. Maybe I need to do like a little less fine of a grind in here. There is a way to adjust. I think it's down here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll adjust that. Ah, okay. There we go. Coarse, less coarse. All right, let's do that. All right, I think that adjusted the coarseness. So the next time I do this, I'll be doing it with just a slightly less fine grind on my acorns. Let's see what's happening here. All right, we're almost there. Yeah, it's still got a puddle in there because that acorn powder is just so fine. But I think we're ready to drink. It has been wet, boys, I'll tell you. Boys and girls. It has been very, very wet. There's the coffee. And this evening we're under a wind advisory. A lot of wind. And I'll tell you, kind of glad I ain't out in the woods tonight, because wind is really the only thing that I just don't enjoy. It complicates everything. You can't sit around the fire at night, because if you can get a fire going in the wind, the heavy wind just blows any enjoyment of the fire right away. You might be able to keep the fire going, but as far as sitting there and feeling the heat off of it and everything, the wind's taking the heat and just taking it right away. So you can't really do that. So it kind of pushes you right into your shelter, and then you're worrying about widowmakers and that sort of thing. That's the thing. If you want to avoid the widowmakers, what do you got to do? You got to go out into an open field or something. But then when you're out in the open field, the wind's got nothing to slow it down, so to tear your tent right to bits. So wind really is. I think wind is the most difficult element to deal with in the backcountry. Heavy, sustained wind. All right, let's try some of this Acorn coffee. Whew. Yeah, I was sitting around here messing with some of my stuff, kind of packing some things, doing different things, and I started thinking, what am I in the mood for? I looked out the window, saw how nasty it was out there, and I said, some of that Acorn coffee. Man, it's just so mellow, and every time I post something about acorns, I get people coming out of the woodwork. What about the tannins? What about the tannins? You're going to poison yourself. Oh, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. Oh, it gives you diarrhea. The diarrheers, remember, those are the folks that the mere possibility that you might possibly get diarrhea. Now, forget about you absolutely will get it. Just the possibility that you could possibly get it drives these folks into a tizzy. I'll tell you what. But every time I do this, all the tannins, oh, you're out of your mind, everything like that. Tannins, they don't give me diarrhea. Now, I'm sure if I ate like 500 raw acorns, that I might have to deal with something like that. But a cup of acorn coffee does not give me diarrhea. The diarrheers, interesting group of people. And then, you know what the craziest thing about the diarrheers is? After they get done crying and wailing about how crazy I am because I'm drinking a cup of coffee that's got tannins in it, first thing, because it might give me diarrhea. There's that slight possibility. I know half of them are driving right off, ordering their food from Taco Bell, and drinking it down with 10 beers. That doesn't seem to worry them. The possibility that might give them diarrhea doesn't seem to worry them a bit. It's only when we're talking about something that's natural, comes out of the woods, that people don't usually eat or consume. Then it's the end of the world. They just can't imagine. Why would a person do that to themselves? With the possibility of diarrhea. There's so many things possibly give you diarrhea. Tequila. If your belly's not used to it, tequila can give you diarrhea. It doesn't stop people from taking a shot of tequila, does it? All right, that's my old man yells at storm cloud moment. So anyway, I just wanted to throw something together here, get it up on the old internet. For those of you who have been following me and might have noticed that my content has been kind of slow and far in between here lately. It's just because of the end of the year, traveling, and those sorts of things. But I'm still here. Still got lots of things, interesting things planned to do and to share with you. And I appreciate you guys coming along. And I hope that you'll stick around, tell your friends, share these videos, and help me out. All right, that's all I got for right now. Next several days, I should have some really, really cool stuff to share with you. Y'all take care and be good to yourselves. I'll talk to you and see you real soon.